Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And recently I've been doing a lot of NBA videos, of course, a lot of news going on. Last night, De'Aaron Fox trade. I'm going to switch it up, though. You know, there's other sports I want to talk about. And who knows, maybe after work I'll do some type of De'Aaron Fox video. Yes, I'm back to work. My paternity leave is over. I got to say goodbye to my not even quite 2-month-old daughter and go to work after this. And, it's going to be difficult. But anyhow, back to the video. Yes, MLB. The Detroit Tigers were a very surprising playoff team last year. Advanced past the Houston Astros 2-game sweep and then took the Guardians to a do-or-die Game 5, falling just 1 game short of the ALCS. Was an awesome story, especially since once the trade deadline occurred, it looked like they were selling because they traded this guy off to the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is Jack Flaherty, Flaherty, and the Dodgers ended up winning the World Series. But the Tigers also, subsequently turned their season around once he was traded. Not saying he's bad juju. I mean, he helped the Dodgers win the World Series. It was just a very cool thing to see. But they need that starting pitcher number 2 behind, of course, Tarek Skubal. Jack Flaherty. Tigers have 2 years, $35 million deal, sources say. Jeff Passan, ESPN. Deal, which is pending a physical, includes an opt-out after this year in which Detroit will pay Flaherty $25 million. The second year guarantees Flaherty $10 million and could be worth $20 million if he starts at least 15 games. So yes, his numbers last year when he was traded, 18 starts, 2.95 ERA, 11.2 strikeouts per 9 innings, a .96 WHIP. He was phenomenal with the Tigers and was good with the Dodgers. Not quite as good, but it was a nice season from Flaherty, who's had some injury-plagued seasons. Was awful after joining the Orioles in the 2023 trade deadline. Of course, looked like one of the great young starters back in 2019 with the Cardinals when he finished 4th in NL Cy Young voting. Can the Tigers once again make the postseason? Of course, it had been somewhat of a quiet offseason from them until they did sign Gleyber Torres. We see that lineup. I mean, it's a big move because, it helps ensure that Javi Baez doesn't have to play regularly. Of course, he's still arguably the worst contract in baseball. Shout out Anthony Rendon. But yeah, look at this lineup. Matt Vierling had a very good season. Riley Green looks like one of the better young players in the league. Parker Meadows, one of the best defensive center fielders in the game. Jake Rogers, nice power hitter from the catcher spot. And then, we see Baez on the bench, not listed. Spencer Torkelson, he's been a draft bust for sure. We'll see if he gets any opportunities this year. Zach McKinstry, that util do it all. But yes, Flaherty in that second spot. Reese Olson, very good season as well last season with the Tigers. Alex Cobb was also brought in free agency. I believe it was a 1-year, $15 million deal. If he could stay healthy, that would be a great pickup for them. And Casey Mize, still relatively young, 27. He could turn it around. Also made Tommy Kahnle, signed him recently. So the bullpen does look a little better. And they might not be done. This was from January 31st. Bob Nightingale. While it seems almost inevitable that first baseman Pete Alonso returns to the Mets, the Detroit Tigers and Boston Red Sox loom as co-favorites for third baseman Alex Bregman, with no movement in Astros talk. So, that's pretty much the two biggest name free agents out there. But Bregman, if the Tigers were to add him, would have an even better lineup than they currently do, and would go a long way in helping their playoff chances. So what are your thoughts? Do you think they can be a playoff team once again? I should also mention that when they traded Flaherty last year, they were 52 and 56, fourth place in the AL Central, 13 games out. They finished the season 86 and 76, so they went 34 and 20 over the 54 games after trading Flaherty. Again, it was completely shocking. Looked like they were selling during the trade deadline, and lo and behold, they make the postseason. They won't necessarily creep up on teams as they did last year. Before I go, I'm quickly trying to see if I could find make the playoffs. So right now, the Detroit Tigers to make the playoffs. Plus 130, yes. Minus 160, no. So a slight underdog to make the postseason. Then if we take a look at their over-under win total, Detroit Tigers are at 83.5, and they're plus 100 over, minus 120 under. So more people are taking the under, and that's barely over a 500 record. We should see, though, AL Central wasn't expected to be a good division last year. 3 teams made the playoffs, and that's with the preseason favorite Minnesota Twins not being one of them. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.